Hey Dan, introduce yourself, please.
Dan Kuehl, professor at the National Defense University in Washington, D.C., where I teach a wide range of subjects dealing with information warfare, information operations, strategic communication, and cyber warfare.
And we're here at the Cyber Warfare Conference in London for 2010. Last time you and I spoke was April at the InfoWarCon in D.C.
That's correct.
What's happening with cyber warfare in the last 7 months? How's the industry?
I jokingly, although it's not a joke, mentioned at the opening of this conference that you could spend your entire year traveling around the globe on a weekly basis, attending cyber-related conferences, symposia, courses, classes, whatever, and never once come up for air. It has become a very, very hot topic. It's become a topic of growing importance to and awareness on the part of senior leadership.
And how about the United States? There's been some big changes. We have a cyber security czar, right? In that time,
the Obama administration came into office a little over a year ago,
right,
with a lengthy agenda on its plate, which is put on the White House webpage for cyber, listed a very dense slide full of things. The administration, I believe, got rather consumed by some other political issues that everyone's aware of, healthcare, etc.
Right.
But President Obama has finally named Howard Schmidt to be the, quote, cyber czar, to head the national cybersecurity effort.
Right.
And he is a very, very capable guy with tons and tons of experience, both in the private sector and in government. He's an excellent choice to run this effort.
Well, I might see him next Thursday in Chicago. He's speaking for ISSA there.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want me to ask him or tell him? Or
that's an example of one of the things that is, I think, high on his plate and agenda, is the need to build awareness and to do the educational mission.
Right.
And this is nothing new. More than 10 years ago, when the Marsh Commission, the President's Commission on Critical Infrastructure Protection,
right,
under the Clinton administration, issued its report on infrastructure vulnerabilities, it made the point at the time that the one of the key needs is for education and awareness building, and only the government can do that.
Well, now, all right, here's an interesting question. Win Schwartau has a comment that it's not about the technology for cybersecurity, it's about the people. Could you explain what that means and why that is important?
I agree with Win 100%. It's about the people, and it's about the organizations that those people create.
Right.
I believe the key problem for cybersecurity is less of a technical problem, although that's significant, but it's more of a human problem in the sense of creating organizations, winding things through bureaucracies, finding ways to take governments that are comprised of multiple layers of organization and bureaucracy and getting them together to cooperate. One of the speakers at this conference, Amit Yaron, yesterday, he was the first National Coordinator for Cybersecurity within the Department of Homeland Security. Well, he was the first. There have been like a dozen more, I don't know what the number is, half a dozen, since him. And why is that? Because the difficulties of trying to knit together the government bureaucracy have been so challenging.
Yeah, and now how about educating the people too? I mean, Estonia, they were attacked. A lot of net bots came in. People's own personal computers were hijacked. And
one of the examples that came up at the conference, this conference yesterday, was if your house is burgled.
Yeah.
A traditional burglar coming in and stealing the silver plate, you're going to know about it as soon as it happens. You know, the front door will be ajar and whatever.
Right.
When someone comes into your home digitally and burgles your personal identity or hijacks your home computer system so it can be used to attack Estonia, as happened in 2007, and people are blissfully unaware of that. And so part of this is an educational and awareness building issue that your stuff and your systems and your data are at risk.
So education, even that might be a question I'll ask Howard Schmidt then.
That's an excellent
ask
question
him what they're going to do to educate the populace on that. Hey Dan, real quick, tell me about your work at the National Defense University.
I've been teaching there since 1994, and it changes every week.
Yeah.
This is, as this conference has highlighted, this is a very, very rapidly moving issue, very rapidly moving target. The stuff that I teach, and I teach about 10 different things. Infrastructure protection is certainly one piece of this, and the strategic implications of infrastructures. That's a different issue from the issue of strategic communication and public diplomacy,
Sure.
and how we try to reach out to and influence foreign populations, which in turn is different from the rather narrow military dimensions and use of information technology, information operations in a military setting. I do all those things, and so it keeps me busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'll probably be even more busy in the next year, huh? With
Well,
everything going
it's
on.
much better to be busy than not busy.
Sure, definitely. All right, well, thanks very much, Dan.